Right, fourth or fifth time lucky. Oh, my laptop's playing up. Anyway, let's jump in and be blooming quick because it's acting cranky. And I thought I'd just have a look at this. It's Brooke Shields talking about the Marklet.
And talks about how, at a young age, she was already advocating for women, etc.
Talking a load of bullshit about washing up liquid.
She starts talking and telling a story about how when she was 11,
right?
And she keeps saying, well, when I was 11, I saw this commercial and they were talking about washing dishes and only soap for washing dishes was for women. And
no one
she said, I didn't think only women wash dishes. It wasn't fair, so I wrote to the company.
How would you know?
And when I was 11,
didn't have a woman in your house,
I wrote my first letter, and then I was 11, and she kept saying she was 11. So she writes to the company, they changed the text, they changed the commercial.
Right, they did.
And I go, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I guys, just interrupt you there for 1 minute. I was trying not to be rude, but I wanted to be funny. Because it was so serious. And I just want to give everybody here a context as to how we're different.
Right.
I said, well, when I was 11, I was playing a prostitute.
Yay, boom! Well done, Brookie. Well done, sweetheart. That's what you call an A-lister. Anyway, so there's that to it. I think Tatum O'Neal was as well at that age. Was she in Taxi Driver or Taxi or whatever it was called? Don't know, don't care. So look at old Anne. She looks like she's going to... I think old Dan and her, they're cracking up laughing. Anyway, for context, because we love a bit of context on the Go To Review channel, India Hicks here on the right, if you check her out, she's speaketh very English, not estuary, I would say, received a pronunciation more reminiscent of, say, Beadle's or Rodine, darling. So anyway, if you look into India Hicks is, she was, as a young girl, bridesmaid at, I'm sure it was Charles and Diana's wedding. If it wasn't, it was Andrew's. I'm pretty sure it was Charles and Diana's. Yeah, and I'm not sure if her daughter or granddaughter must have been daughter, at William and Kate's wedding. So the Hickses, what I'm saying is, Hickses are people. Whilst I'm not sure, I think there are Mr. and Mrs. You could be a Mr. and Mrs. and be up there in the echelons. It just depends how you are that. Because you might be, somebody. They're people. Let's put it that way. They're people. And we're not talking Lady Ramble, Carlisle, Argyle and much of Lake Windermere where they've married into something. No, she's like the real deal. So there's that to it. And is that the thing? Should we read into that? The fact that India here, I think she's become a journalist now. She's got a podcast. She's interviewing A-listers in Hollywood. Looks like she probably domiciles there, or probably has got multi-domiciles. And so that's good old India. And she's got Brooke on. We love a bit of Brooke.
And then luckily, it was more relaxed after that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I hope she doesn't think I'm rude. I'm not being rude. I was just sort of...
I think it's genius.
It was just too precious. And I was like, they're not going to want to sit here for 45 minutes and listen to anybody be precious. Or serious,
definitely not on this podcast. There's no pressure.
Well, no, but this was...
You hear the English accent.
I mean, it was crazy. And then afterwards, she was kind of like, oh, okay. And I was like, let's just have some fun with it, But it was...
Yeah, but the thing is, the old Marklet ain't been seen anywhere near Brooke Shields ever since. And at the time, this old bullshit. I mean, she's been 43 for about the last 8 years, hasn't she? So there's that happening, and she's like 48 on the 4th of August, is it 4th of August? So there's that to it, and shall we read into it the fact that India Hicks is actually related to people that are people in the RF of Britain? Or is it just, does that matter? It's probably inconsequential because, I mean, I'm not anybody and I'd probably say the worst, but we're much worse, and without the posh accent, darling. So I'm sure we all have spoken to our friends and said a lot worse. So, and the fact that she is somebody that's connected to the echelons through birth and through her lineage. I don't know who she's married to, but I'm sure that counts as well. Yes, India Hicks, check it out. Bridesmaid at Diana's wedding. So there's that. And there's that to it. And I don't know whether these two guys are going to tell you, Levine and Dan Wooten here. So anyway, let's just pop on quick, before my computer dies again.
So Katie must have been brilliant because she's a wonderful moderator between the two of you.
She's so great. I mean, she does it in her sleep, I think.
Yeah.
Wow, Angela, I love Brooke Shields more than I've ever loved her after that moment because just so
we all love
much
Brooke Shields,
honesty,
Dan.
and it's the type of honesty that celebrities have not been prepared to express about Meghan Markle before.
I think I remember saying that now, come to think of it.
Fuming about this one.
Yes.
Yeah, she didn't learn from it, though.
Be hopping mad.
She didn't learn. She didn't learn
Brooke
nothing.
Shields a massive star, Angela. I mean, come on, this is like a
discovered
household
tribes
name
in the Amazon.
all around the
Bloody heard
world.
of Brooke Shields.
Yes, but she was quite right. I mean, it is very funny that a
Was
woman
she
who's
in 10 or
had so
something?
much
I don't know what she was
and
in,
is
I don't care
now
anymore.
40,
Blue
nearly
Lagoon?
44,
Something like that.
actually keeps on going back to when I was 11, when I was 11,
Yeah,
when I was
she's still 11 mentally.
As if this is the most important
And this is,
part
I
of her
know.
life.
But this is the other thing as well, not Ange, but that I've heard quite a few political, cultural media pundits say blah 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 and all this, that and the other about her, but they always put the appendage on, yeah, but she's a very intelligent woman. Well, she ain't really, is she? Come on, let's have it right. If you think of it. If she was intelligent, she would keep failing at everything. The only thing she's successful at is bleeding failing, really, at everything. She'd try this, she'd try that. She'd be doing gymnastics next week. She'd be putting herself in for the bleeding Olympics. Look at me, I'm the only 49-year-old, almost 49-year-old gymnast, I am. Yes, you can call me Megan Corbett from now on. Right, let's go.
It's
the only thing she ain't done. Give her time.
Is that?
Pole dancing and that.
It's complete rubbish.
Right.
And she couldn't take it, so she told her off. Shut up. You know, who cares?
We'd have all
what
said,
you're doing
I'd said 10 times worse than
much
that.
more interesting things when I was 11, and so
quite apart
shut
from the
up.
fact when she was 11, she was at an all-girls school, and she said that she answered it in thing because one of the boys said something. So we all know that story is a load of old BS, because if you look into it, she was at a girls' school. Sorry, am I allowed to say that? Probably not. Anyway,
This is
never
supposed
mind.
to be fun. They're supposed to enjoy it. You know,
Right.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Who the hell think
it's a
you
big
are?
one, isn't it?
Talking like
It's a
some
really big one,
superstar.
actually, because here's
She's always
the
in the
thing.
middle, isn't she? Bleeding old
There was
malt.
the possibility that interaction could have taken place.
Right,
on
quickly,
stage.
let's do this. Right, let's stop there. I'm going to stop there because my computer's going to die any minute. Now, ladies all over the globe. Oh, don't stop with the writing. That's calligraphy. I'm a bleeding ballerina. Right, but when you look... Now, we've all been around children, haven't we, ladies? Yeah? I've always said this about her, and we've got to give her some sort of swerve here. Because when you look at her eyes, they are the eyes, darling, of a disturbed child. Anybody that's been around children would know that those eyes are disturbed. It's what they used to call disturbed. I don't know what they call it nowadays. But, yeah, when I was young, it was called disturbed. It's like the lights are out but nobody's in. They've got that film over them. And all the videos you see of her when she's younger, all the photographs. So, yeah, I think there was stuff going on. And if you look at the two reprehensibly vile people that she's got as her caregivers, am I allowed to say that? It doesn't excuse her behaviour, because we've all had bleeding psychos and narcs and this, that and the other. You have a choice as an adult whether you develop beyond being an embryo. And, yeah, but I do sort of hold true to this, and it needs saying that you can always tell the eyes are the window to their soul. And in a child, whenever you see children that have through some sort of abuse, whether it's neglect or emotional or whatever, yeah, they've got this kind of film over their eyes. And with her, it might come across as... Because in the one way, she was an appendage, and then on the other way, she had an enormous, when time was for her, enormous amount of smoke blown up her. Yeah, when probably the main thing you need for a child is to have consistency, routine, to be present in the moment. And then when you hear stories about Tom Markle and everything, this, that and the other, I mean, they were old enough to know, or to even think, oh, I wonder what they're doing downstairs. I wonder what that burning plastic smell is. We've heard the stories. I'm not saying talking out of school. They're all there. I wonder why he's always going to Vietnam and wherever it was. He was going to Thailand, Philippines, don't say anything. And, you know, where was little Meg when that was happening? So that, and are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to say that? And then her mother sort of disappeared for about a decade, and her father was rarely there from what we can tell. We've all got to sort of be amazed by the fact that he was working. There is that to it, but there again, there's a lot of working mothers that work 2 or 3 jobs to keep their kids, and yeah, children don't end up like just up. So, am I allowed to say that? Just tell me what you think, because I've always thought her eyes are a classic symptom of a disassociated child. There's something going on. It's like, yeah, I'm not making excuses for her, as I've just said, as an adult you can make choices, but for the little Meg, I do kind of pity her because I don't think they were the best parents, darling. And am I allowed to have that opinion? Probably I am. Because there seems to be some sort of historical, something going on there that didn't seem to be present. Even if he was there, he probably wasn't present. And if I know one thing about children, especially about little girls, boys are the same, but boys are more rough and tumble and they want to be with their boy pals, you know. But little girls are always like, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, they want to be the centre of your world, they want to have attention, or they want to be a good little girl and be creating and showing you things and you being present for them. And if that isn't happening, if you're always living in the adult's world rather than the adult coming to live in your world, or at least sharing that space together mutually beneficially, and we've seen them, oh look at us, we're on holiday and we're fishing and everything. That is bullshit. A camera, you can click it on, click it off, we all know that. We're talking about the other sort of 23 hours and 59 minutes of her day, don't we? So there's that to it. And I think I'm allowed to say that. Doesn't excuse her, but she's annoying. I think she's got arrested emotional development at some age, God knows where. But there again, look at me. Have you all seen me? I mean, if anybody takes any of my opinion as fact, you probably might need some help. Anyway, I'm off. I've said too much. Oh dear, never mind. Going to have to avoid tunnels. But there you go, that's India HICKS. India HICKS, you see? So, can we read into that or should we not? Right, let's go.